Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today, we're jumping right into a really beautiful analysis. If you've ever felt like your resources are just way too small for your big ambitions, or you're starting from way behind the pack, this explainer is exactly what you need. We're going to unpack a super inspiring story titled Inspirational Story Analysis, Small Baker, Big Dream. So, can a small bakery actually change the world? To answer that, we've got to travel to a tiny, quiet village and look at a young boy named Amin. Now, his family had very little money. Picture this, every single morning, long before the sun even thought about coming up, while the whole village was fast asleep, Amin and his mom were already awake. They'd start their day working in their modest little bakery. It was a really tough, impoverished childhood. But that quiet, intimate morning routine with his mom, that was the actual foundation of something absolutely incredible. Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, Humble Beginnings, Big Dreams. So, in their cramped little bakery, Aman's mom would be lovingly kneading the dough, while young Aman's job was to light the fire in their old, traditional tandoor oven. Together, they baked fresh bread and buns. Now look, it wasn't a fairy tale. Some days they'd sell everything, but other days, they'd wait until the evening and barely see a single customer. But during those agonizingly slow days, his mom shared a piece of profound wisdom with him. She said taste comes from hard work and love, not just flour. And Aman internalized this deeply while sweating over that hot tandoor. He learned right then and there that the true secret ingredient to anything isn't just the raw materials you have. It's the absolute dedication and heart you pour into the work. But, well, the outside world isn't always that kind. After a long morning of baking, Aman would head off to school, and his clothes, naturally, carried this heavy scent of fresh bread. And kids can be cruel, right? They'd mock him, laughing and saying, "Oh, here comes the bread boy. He's going to sell bread his whole life." It was incredibly painful. But instead of lashing out, Aman built up this resilient, grand vision inside his head. At night, he'd watch these world-class, famous bakeries on TV, and he made a silent promise to himself. The whole world will eat my bread. And that brings us to Section 2, the crucible of struggle. So the crucial point on this slide is that big dreams don't just magically happen because you wish for them. They require surviving some pretty intense trials. Without access to any fancy culinary schools, Aman started this relentless journey of self-education. He essentially built a continuous learning loop. Step 1, he read whatever books he could get his hands on. Step 2, he made new recipes. Step 3, he inevitably made mistakes. Breads burned, cakes completely collapsed, customers complained. But Step 4, he learned something new every single time, and he just never stopped. I want to ask you, what are your burnt bread moments right now? Are you letting them stop you, or are you actually using them as stepping stones? Which leads us right into Section 3, the tipping point and scaling. So all of that quiet, grueling preparation eventually collides with a massive opportunity. On one totally random day, a highly famous city food critic was taking a tour through Aman's tiny village, and he stopped to order some freshly baked bread. Now, the atmosphere in there was thick with tension. This was it, the ultimate test of all those years of burnt bread and early mornings. The critic takes his first bite, and suddenly, his face just completely changes into this huge smile. He declares, "I have rarely eaten such delicious bread." And man, that single glowing review hit the internet and just exploded like wildfire. Within a week, people were traveling from far and wide, and these long, winding lines started forming outside a little shop that used to struggle to get even one evening customer. And this brilliantly illustrates his staggering growth trajectory. Starting from that struggling village bakery at point 1, that viral food critic review acted as the ultimate catalyst. It propelled him to open a second bakery in the city, then a third, eventually expanding into multiple locations across the map. Finally, Amin became a national millionaire with a massive bakery empire. He literally proved all those kids at school completely wrong. But if the story just ended there, it would only be about money. Let's look at Section 4. True meaning of success, return, and goodness. Despite the massive wealth and all that nationwide fame, Aman knew his true identity definitely wasn't his bank account. His true identity was his honesty, his roots, and his hard work. Because true success always finds its way back home to do some good. Aman returned to his village, but he didn't tear down the old, small bakery to build some giant mansion. No way. Instead, he renovated it into a free baking school for poor village children. He wanted to make absolutely sure the next generation had the resources, the education, and the empowerment that he had to fight so incredibly hard to get. Inside that beautifully renovated school, his mother stood there with tears of pure pride in her eyes. And she told him, "You won't just make good bread. you will build a beautiful future. This is really the emotional peak of Amin's entire journey. That early prophecy she had way back when they were struggling in those dark early mornings, believing that hard work and love create the best taste, it was fully realized. He didn't just bake a living, he baked a legacy. Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, the core takeaways. We have felt the emotion of Amin's journey for sure, but what are the actual mechanics of building an empire from scratch? Well, first, success isn't overnight. Even when a viral moment happens, remember, it is built on years and years of unseen early morning grinding. Second, you have to learn from every failure. Every burned loaf of bread is data. It's feedback. And third, small starts lead to big destinations. Never, ever despise your humble beginnings. Daily hard work and a flat-out refusal to give up, those are the true bricks of any empire. I want to leave you with this final, incredibly powerful truth. Hard work is the magic that turns small dreams into big reality. Just let that sink in for a second. There is no other magic trick. There is no secret shortcut. The magic is in the effort you put in when absolutely no one is watching, turning that tiny, seemingly impossible dream into an undeniable, towering reality. So, I leave you with this question to think about. What is your small dream that you will start turning into reality today? Don't wait for the perfect oven or the perfect ingredients. Start kneading the dough today. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep learning, keep pushing, and I'll see you next time.